get it. As Juan Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. We don't teach you how to rise to the occasion here, folks. We teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. And yes, my ass is gassed, because we had one of those days where it's 3 workouts in less than 24 hours. And the plan going into today was 6 miles, ended up doing 8 miles. All because, we're falling to our level of preparation, and you just never know what's gonna come up in life, what's gonna come up tomorrow. Question is always gonna be, are you ready for it now? That is always gonna be the question, all right? As far as today's Move Swiftly thought, taking it back to the hometown, taking it back to the home team, taking it back to the DMV, taking it back to the Washington motherfucking Redskins. Yes, I said it, the Washington Redskins or Commanders, Skinmanders, whatever you wanna call them. Again, happy with the wins, and happy with today's Move Swiftly thought, because I get to give a shout out, give a congrats, official congrats from your one and only Move Swiftly speaker to one of the greatest slot receivers to have ever played the game that you may never have heard of, all right? Name is Santana Moss. I know out here in South Florida, you're used to that name because he's another one of those U products. In fact, again, myself being a Michigan and a Florida State and Maryland fan, I always tell you guys, the 4th team I root for is Miami. It's particularly because of that triple threat that we had in the DMV. Santana Moss, the late Sean Taylor, and Clinton Portis really made me respect the U. And obviously Ray Lewis and Ed Reed crossed a couple miles away out in Baltimore really made me respect the U and what they're all about. Vince Wilfork, I'm a big fan of his too as well. So always gonna be love for you got some Canes up in here. Ooh, ooh. So as far as Santana Moss, though, shout out to Santana Moss, who it's officially got announced that he is officially named in the Ring of Honor for the Washington Redskins, or Commanders, again, whatever you want to call them. He's officially named in the Ring of Honor, and it was really gratifying to see that, because actually tonight I'm going to be starting some promo for the college football show, the live college football show I'm going to be doing at Duffy's. We're starting that tonight for the Hall of Fame game, and it was actually one of my favorite memories. It was this past year was the first time that the Redskins actually won a playoff game since I was a sophomore in college, which is a while ago. All right? They beat the Buccaneers in a wild card game in Tampa that year. And I remember it was a real slugfest, a real defensive battle. And myself, again, a person that plays the game, knows the game, scouted the game, coached the game, knows the game in and out, and understands the concept of the way the game flow works. Understanding that in a slow, grinded out game like that, you got to run the ball, you got to pound the rock, So I'm screaming at the TV because it was a really close game. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think the offense actually scored a touchdown, to be honest with you. But I'm screaming at the TV to work some clock. Give the ball to Portis, feed the clock, work the clock, burn the clock, Portis. I'm screaming out the calls. I'm screaming at the TV in terms of what they should be doing. And there was this foreigner behind me. It was behind me, my sister, my father, and my mom was there, all 4 of us. The Fantastic Four was there. And the guy behind us is just screaming, Santana Moss! Santana Moss! Santana Moss! It's funny because Santana Moss didn't need to be involved at all in the game, right? Other than blocking, we didn't need to put the ball in the air because we have Mark Brunell as a damn quarterback. And every time we put the ball in the air with him, it was almost like it guaranteed to be an interception, right? At that stage. Now, I'm not going to slight Mark Brunell. He was a beast when he was back in Jacksonville. But when it came to the Redskins, it was sort of the end of his career. We were looking for a replacement. I believe it was around that time Jason Campbell was coming in. But at the end of the day, shout out to Santana Moss. Congrats on the Ring of Fame and all that. And, he's doing a lot of, hopefully I get a chance to collaborate with him on some stuff. He's doing a lot of media stuff now. I see planning a trip to the DMV and all that stuff. So, again, one of the greatest slot receivers. And the lesson to be learned, however, in all of this is that doesn't matter your size, doesn't matter where you come from, how you get in the league, as long as you get in there and do great things. Because I remember him saying a couple times that when it came to how he got in the league, it was through his ability to be a kick returner, slot guy, that specialty guy, that eventually when he came from the Jets, he became the number 1 guy in the receiver room. But it was because he got into the league because he showed his talent with the Jets and he was able to work his way up. So there's a lot to be learned in regards to being that, smaller receiver that can make a lot of plays for you and add some dynamics to your offense that is going to make it so you're able to do be a lot more flexible with your offensive play calling. So all that being said, If you want the Santana Mosses on your staff, right? Main website you want to ask about the employee development workshops. Main website to check out is makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.